This is an update to my Trump Future Antichrist video series. My last update was after Trump's first year in office, roughly 7 months ago. I was going to wait until his second year for another update, but there's too much that has happened in the last 7 months, and I'd like to address some things before the midterm election in November. I have several subjects to talk about. I went through my previous Trump videos to search for everything I wanted to address. It's interesting now, after some time has passed, to look back on what was said to see if it had merit and what didn't. As far as I'm concerned, everything is still going just as I predicted, but I find it interesting how outside influences taint everything. I brought up a few things in previous videos that today I look back on and see nothing has come to pass. When I made my video addressing his campaign promises, I used an article I found online listing those promises, but now in hindsight, I realize that that list was itself a bit tainted by fake news. For instance, it mentioned Wall Street reform and ending the EPA and space exploration. Yet, I've seen nothing going on about Wall Street reform or ending the EPA. I get the feeling the liberal article twisted Trump's stance on climate change into supposedly ending the EPA. And instead of ending space exploration, Trump instead started the new Space Force. Now, I hope they spend that money on protecting our satellites instead of wasting it trying to go to Mars. In my last Trump video, I said that this year was supposed to be about rebuilding America's infrastructure. Well, as far as I can tell, nothing has been done concerning that, and as I said in that video, it seems to have been pushed aside. I blame all of the media distractions and the logjam in Congress. I get the feeling Trump learned in his first year that getting laws passed by Congress was too much of an uphill battle with all the obstruction coming from both sides, not just the Democrats. I think he was waiting for the midterm elections to change things before he tries again. I'm predicting a huge red wave as America kicks out more career politicians and rejects the lunacy on the left. It seems that this year has actually been more about Mueller's Russian collusion investigation than anything else. We went through the Stormy Daniels scandal, and right now the Omarosa scandal is going on. The Paul Manafort trial is about to be decided soon. But none of those things actually have anything to do with Russia. The fake news keeps up the witch hunt while Mueller keeps trying desperately to frame Trump. But they've got nothing, because he didn't collude with Russia. Hillary Clinton did. This brings me to draining the swamp. I mentioned in a previous video that Hillary Clinton should be prosecuted for her crimes. Well, that ball has been slowly rolling. While Mueller is doing his thing, other people in Congress have slowly been closing in on the truth. We had the Nunes memo, and all the text messages between Peter Strzok and Lisa Page come out, making it very clear to everybody, except the brainwashed Democrats, that the Democratic Party was obviously conspiring to steal the election from Donald Trump. Right now, it seems pretty obvious that people like Comey, Strzok, Brennan, Clapper, and I believe even Mueller himself were all in on it. And it's only a matter of time before the evidence finally leads to Hillary herself and even Obama. The swamp is being drained, one criminal at a time, but will anybody actually go to jail? We'll see. I think this kind of exposure of the deep state is just what we've been needing for a long time. But the sad thing is that what we've seen so far, on Fox News anyway, is just the tip of the iceberg. I've been awake to the real conspiracies behind our government for over a decade now, thanks to better news sources than Fox News. But it's now interesting to watch Fox News act like the only true news while they constantly bash Alex Jones, who's been reporting for years some of the things that Fox News is just now starting to discover. As far as I'm concerned, there's the fake news, then there's less fake Fox News, and then there's non-TV news, only found on the internet, that is actually the most truthful. For instance, I mentioned in a previous video how John McCain has been obstructing Trump's agenda while being a fellow Republican. That's because the deep state includes Republicans too, and McCain is one of them. I've known that for years because of real news on the internet. Fox News viewers don't understand that yet. Fox News still pushes the official 9/11 story, and that modern-day Israel is the poor innocent victims over there in the Middle East. Wrong. The fake news just blatantly lies, and the reprobate blindly believe them. But Fox News reports some truth, but selectively ignores stories that would make them sound too wacky, like they like to label Alex Jones. I find it so ironic how they've been reporting on the conspiracies of the Democrats, yet they don't want to be labeled as conspiracy theorists. Okay, so let's go over what Trump has done since my last update video. He's nominated a second Supreme Court judge, which of course the Democrats wanted to obstruct his confirmation no matter who he picked. And their biggest fear seems to be losing their right to kill babies. They're so afraid of someone wanting to overturn Roe v. Wade. And Ruth Bader Ginsburg had to announce that she's not retiring anytime soon just so Trump doesn't get to nominate another judge. She's already over 80, but she's going to try to stick around until the next Democrat president comes along. Good luck, Ruth. Take your vitamins. Wouldn't want you to become another Scalia. Being the businessman that he is, Trump the Money King has been doing a lot of good for the economy. The tax reform bill had just passed when I made my previous Trump video, but now it's had time to capture everyone's attention. Everyone generally has more money to play with, even the Democrats, yet they keep saying it was only the super rich that benefited. Unemployment rates have dropped to record lows in every demographic. Yet Democrats say it's all because of what Obama did. I am seriously amazed at how the Democrats are so blinded by Trump derangement syndrome that they choose to believe some of the most ridiculous talking points that the fake news spits out at them. Another current theme is the trade war. Trump is battling against just about every other nation for fair trade deals. We've been getting ripped off by countries like China for decades, and Trump wants to level the playing field. Gee, what a tyrant. He gets criticized because he's not happy with the deals we have with allies like Canada either. So apparently, we're supposed to let Canada rip us off just because they're our friends. The Money King won't put up with that. No way. Speaking of deals, Trump pulled the plug on the Iran deal. And now Iran is mad about it. But before I talk about Iran, let's talk about North Korea. Can you believe the Korean War is finally over? And how did it happen? Trump. He threatens them with military might. He bombs Syria while hosting the Chinese president in Washington. He makes it crystal clear to Kim that he won't win a war with America. He agrees to talk, and Trump wins him over. The fake news said he'd start a nuclear war. Instead, he averted one. Now, let's talk about Iran. I think the same thing will happen. The Money King will defeat them through sanctions and then bring them to the negotiating table. Then there was the Russian summit in Helsinki. The fake news tried to make it sound like more collusion because Trump and Putin spoke privately with only interpreters in the room. They even wanted to subpoena his interpreter. They'll do anything to frame Trump. Well, it all just seemed to fade away because, as usual, they had no actual evidence of collusion. Now, concerning immigration, Trump is winning. No matter how much the Democrats try to import more new voters by welcoming illegals, their plan isn't working. The wall is slowly being built, it seems, but more importantly, Trump's policies are cleaning up America. The travel ban was challenged, but it held up in the courts. MS-13 is being defeated. Illegal border crossings have decreased. And despite the whole separating kids from their parents issue, which was an Obama policy to begin with, Trump has honored his campaign promise to crack down on illegal immigration. I had mentioned before that Trump was supposedly led to the Lord and got saved during the campaign. That was over 2 years ago. Within that time frame, we should have seen evidence of a changed heart. I've seen nothing. Nothing about the Bible, nothing about regularly going to church, nothing about repentance, nothing to truly suggest that he's really been born again. Even worse, in the recorded conversation that he had with Omarosa after she was fired, he clearly used the Lord's name in vain, something no truly born-again believer would ever do, even in private. At best, he's a false convert, tricked by the ever-popular, once saved, always saved false doctrine. Just say a prayer once and you're going to heaven no matter what, right? Wrong. Lastly, there's still one prediction that hasn't happened, and I truly hope it doesn't, but I expect it will. There have been so many people threatening violence against Trump. I've never seen any other president during my lifetime be the target of so much hatred and blatant calls for assassination. Hollywood wants him dead. The Democrats want him dead. Iran wants him dead. I'd bet even China wants him dead. It's only a matter of time before some fool takes a shot at him. I really hope it doesn't happen, but it almost seems inevitable.